So this month we are using the technology of intention. And so this is the final, I guess, week of this series. And if you, not of this book, because this is really a wonderful keeper at the top of my pile. And I think that we have some in the bookstore, is that right? Okay, so, and I'm going to speak about that in my presentation this morning. So, good morning, beloveds. Mudding. Are you ready to change the life around you? You might wonder, how would I do this? How would I do this? Well, you must first go to work. You must be willing to go to work. On what? On what? On yourself. On your consciousness. Did you fully realize that consciousness is the one mind? That is difficult to conceptualize. I know. But it's like artificial intelligence on steroids. That's pretty amazing, that artificial intelligence, isn't it? Yes, right. Yeah. And we get that we have access to that every moment of our lives, this one mind, this consciousness. And here's the sweetness of that. It serves at your pleasure. It serves at your pleasure. Not mine, not anybody else's around you. It serves your mind. Because your mind is that spiritual, I'll call it an instrument, or access, or avenue, through which we can change our life, first here and then out there. So what is it that either pleases you now or would please you were it to be realized? Anybody? What would you like more of? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. How would you like to feel? Okay. These are all intentions. One word can be your intention. So what words are you employing in your life? What are the words you use? And what is more importantly, the emotion that is fueling all of those? You see, words have power, but not so much on their own as how they're fueled with our emotion. In the Science of Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes writes, the words which you speak would be just as powerful as the words which Jesus spoke. If you knew your word was the law whereunto it was sent. So the word, the joy, the peace, whatever it is, you send the word. And he goes on to say, but you must know within and not merely accept with the intellect. We teach a lot of intellect, science of mind in this teaching. And that's good. We get the tools, we get the blueprint, we get the outline. But then if there's no passion to it, it can fall short of our desired life. And he goes on to say this. Now, if you have reached a point where the inner consciousness believes, then your word is simply an announcement of reality. So if we can fully accept that which we say we deserve in a full, deep way, then That's what shows up without a whole lot of effort. It should be effortless. It should be pleasurable to have all the, as we say, gifts of the kingdom. Because they're right up here. Well, up here. There seems to be in these times a whole lot of words said and fingers pointed out. Doesn't there? It can be very frustrating. I've learned in my spiritual studies that if something pushes my buttons, I notice. Do you notice when your buttons get pushed? Yeah. Yeah. What do you do? Here's a little caveat. What do you do when that happens? Well, I've learned to pause. That's most important. And then I've learned to breathe into it, not diminish it. My button was pushed, and this was my button. All right? All right. Identify it. And then, the third is the most difficult to do. Remove the energy from that situation, from that button. That's a challenge too. So if I could have slide 1 up, please. Walk away from people who put you down. Walk away from fights that will never be solved. Walk away from trying to please people who will never see your worth. The more you walk away from things that poison your soul, the healthier you will be. Some people like a good confrontation. Some people, not here. No one here. Well, then once one walks away, we realize slide number 2. It's so nice when toxic people stop talking to you. It's like the trash took itself out. Don't you love it? Miracles. Remember that. The trash took itself out. Cool. In The Technology of Intention, the book by Kim Starwood Terranova, she shares on page 26 and 7, and I quote, "Language is a beautiful art, and many of us do not realize how important it is to stay alert to what words we are using on a regular basis. Every word has energy, and when we add emotion to fuel the energy of our words, then the language we use propels movement, like a booster on a rocket. It is imperative we stay alert to the words we choose to use as we move through our lives. Words have power." Statements and words are to be mindful of. Here are some. You might have your own. You might have this one. I never do anything right. I'm not smart enough. I'm too old to do that now. My life is a mess. Who's heard that one? Oh, I've heard it a lot. So a question, do you feel empowered by these statements? I don't. Very toxic, right? And though through our deep down belief systems, we have invited all the other words out there many times unconsciously. And their purpose is to bring our attention. That's why I said I bless them. I recognize those button pushers. They bring our attention to what we might change. Because that's not who we truly are, what's happening out in the world. Those reactive emotions, those toxic thoughts. Well, I've come up with a little statement about people and situations that I deem toxic. Here it is. It's Spirit's nudge toward the truth of us. Spirit's nudge. I like the word nudge over push or pull or smack. Strong words, aren't they? Yeah, I say them with such enthusiasm. But a nudge is a loving, kind of a gentle toward something new. And so when I realized that and I moved to gratitude um, for these persons of awareness and situations, um, there is something that happens within me, and for you too, I'm sure. So, slide number 3, please. Removing your presence from places you don't feel loved, valued, or respected is top tier self care. Top tier self care. I love this analogy because it shifts the energy just a bit, doesn't it? Please repeat a lifted intention I have for you. I am open to grow in this situation. Life is a miracle. I am grateful for this moment, for the ability to breathe. And my personal favorite, I choose to be kind to myself beginning today. How do those feel? A little more breath in that, isn't that? How are you kind and loving to yourself? How are you? How do you gift the spirit of you? What is it something that, how do you take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit? Yeah. Someone say shower? I love that. I love that too. Yeah, there you go. Meditate. Yeah, yeah, good. Hugs. They're all good. Now, those are your go-to words. Those who spoke or didn't speak but thought, and and you can energize those words just by asking yourself a simple question: how do I nourish my body, my mind, my spirit? And see what pops up. And that's where you go, oh, thank you for that. So, what are your go-to words that maybe not be so spiritual? I'm not asking to yell them out now. So, my personal experience with that was when I was in ministerial class. And Dr. John McEwen, Carolyn's husband, before he has passed away. But he enlightened me about the use of words. The words we use have no particular power, he said, by themselves. The power in those words we provide. There are no bad words. Say that. There are no bad words. Okay. That takes away some judgment when you hear them. Well, the reality is in the power we put behind it. So Dr. Mack, as we lovingly refer to him, invited his ministerial students to go to their favorite word of frustration, even a swear word. He said, I'll start. So here was this revered Reverend Dr. Mack. He didn't like that, but that's just. So his go-to statement was, ready? God damn it. It's true. And his explanation for that was he was frustrated. And it was not directed, that statement was not directed out, like to you or to that or to this. It was just within himself. And he said that his God, his good, was dammed up. It was shut down. And was a reminder to return to divine principle. So some of the words we use, I'll say privately when we're frustrated, we have our own go-to words, don't we? Well, pay attention. It's a gift to recognize where you go. And then how to turn that around. My affirmation intention I came out of that moment was, then, and is now, my good is ever available through me at all times, including right now. You want to say that? Yeah? Okay. My good is ever available through me at all times, including right now. Now is very important. You don't want to put it off somewhere. Don't put off your good intentions. Claim them now. You and I are called to be good stewards of our spiritual selves, of our thoughts, of our emotions towards this life, and to choose the words that will be manifest. We get to choose the words that will be manifest. One word I've noticed lately, I've noticed it a lot, is the four-letter word, hate. Don't we just hate that? Or this person? Well, it's used a lot, especially now in the time of great change called the election process. You know, I've given away the word hate. The trash took itself out, so to speak. Now, what I thought was so interesting about the banner that fell down, and it's just a way that my mind works. I see the word, and the bottom statement is, abolish hatred. What is spirit here? Hatred. How about claim love? How about accept peace? Anything for me sounds better. But now it's my choice. That's my choice. Now, why do I do that? Why do I bring that up? Because consciousness hears the words we use. And this four-letter word seems to be propelled with tremendous emotions. Now, beloveds, I invite you to be mindful of the potential to be your experience. Got that? You have the potential to be your experience and to appear in the greater worldview instead of saying, I hate this or that person, state that which you love. Why? The Bible in the first chapter of Genesis declares, in the beginning was the Word. And the Word gets the ball rolling, so to speak. It gets the manufacturing process up and going. Ernest Holmes references the Word thusly. Nothing could give form to the formless stuff, which has no mind of its own, but some intelligence operating through it. Here then, we come back to the Word as the starting point of all creation. God's Word in the great creation. End quote. So take care of your mind, your body, and your affairs by reminding yourselves that indeed you are a gift of the Beloved. Now, slide 4, please. Stay hopeful, for there are people out there just like you with pure hearts, genuine intentions, and strong sense of loyalty, honesty, and integrity. That's what you look for. That's what you stay. That's what you know. Stay hopeful. Let's repeat this together. I am a gift of the beloved. I'm equipped to be a magnificent example of good in action. Life is for me through my clear intentions. Now. Thank you. So, oh, good. So we did an exercise last weekend at our practitioner retreat, and I'm going to show you a couple things. There are a couple of ways we present ourselves. This one is my perfect self. You see it? Yeah. Now, then we were encouraged to go behind the mask to our true self. And this one represents my inner, which is, there are tiers of release, there's hearts, and there's the upper mind. And so why do I do this? I do this to show you that I've done more work on myself, and I encourage you to step behind your mask that you present to the world. You don't have to be a rebel, and but you could. This is the new me. We'll see it. We'll see it. But do your inner work. Love yourself enough to dig deep. Because, slide number 5, please. In the end, people always have a way of revealing who they are. You just have to give them space and time to do so. No mask can be worn forever. So, beloveds, please know and say with me, today, I choose to do the work by being kind to myself through my words and intentions and emotions. Now, go to work. Namaste.